Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're embarking on an exploration of something truly universal, yet intensely personal, pain.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sensation, well, every one of us encounters, but how deeply do we actually understand its nature, its origins, and maybe its hold over us?
It's a big one.
Yeah. We've gathered a really compelling stack of sources for this deep dive, drawing rich insights from Buddhist philosophy, looking closely at the mind-body
An
connection,
intricate link,
and
yes.
even venturing into the pretty fascinating world of chakras.
A different perspective again.
So our mission today is to kind of sift through these perspectives, pull out the most potent, maybe transformative ideas.
Get to the core of it.
Exactly. And ultimately offer you, the listener, a fresh, maybe more nuanced understanding of pain,
Yeah.
not just what it is.
But how we relate to it.
Right, how our minds interpret it, and critically, how this knowledge might, profoundly reshape your own experience. Get ready to shift some perspectives with us.
And that's really what these sources allow us to do, isn't it? They give us this unique, profound lens on something that often feels just overwhelming.
Totally.
We're moving beyond just reacting to pain and suffering, and instead trying to cultivate a deeper understanding of resilience, sure, but also the fundamental architecture of our inner experience.
Architecture, I like that.
Yeah, it's about seeing suffering not just as this, unavoidable burden, but maybe as an opportunity for some insightful navigation.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Our journey starts with a really fundamental question that the sources challenge us with.
Mm-hmm.
If Buddhist teachings talk about phenomena being non-existent or without self, anatta, why do we still feel pain? I mean, it feels incredibly real to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you clarify what non-existent means here?
It's an excellent place to start, actually, because it hits on a very common misunderstanding.
Okay.
When Buddhist teachings refer to things as non-existent or without self and nada, they're not denying our lived reality, like the chair you're sitting on, the sounds you hear.
The pain itself.
Exactly. They're pointing to the absence of a permanent, unchanging, inherent self or essence within those things. Pain as an experience absolutely exists. It's part of our relative reality.
Right.
Our bodies are incredibly good at registering sensations. The key is understanding what kind of self is absent, not denying the sensation.
Ah, okay. So it's not that the sensation is absent, but that there isn't a permanent me experiencing it or a permanent thing called pain. That's a crucial distinction.
It really is.
And it leads us straight to a foundational Buddhist concept our sources really emphasize. This idea of the two arrows of suffering. Can you walk us through that metaphor? It sounds powerful.
It is powerful and very central. So the first arrow is physical pain, what's technically called Dukkha Vedana.
Dukkha Vedana.
This is the raw, direct, unavoidable sensation in your body, the pure sensory input, like bang.
Okay, the first hit.
Right. Now, the second arrow, that's mental suffering, or dukkha. This is the suffering we add on top.
Yeah.
We add it through our thoughts, our judgments, our resistance, the stories we build around that initial pain.
And the sources use such a relatable example. Stubbing your toe. We've all done that.
Oh, yeah. Painful.
That immediate sharp ouch. That's the first arrow, right? The Dukkha Vedana.
That's it.
But then almost instantly, the mind just kicks in with, why me? This always happens. I can't believe I did that. Or, this pain is awful. It's never going to stop.
All that commentary.
Those reactions, those stories, that's the second arrow, the self-created one.
Precisely. That's the second arrow. And what's so illuminating about this distinction is that the teachings aren't saying, ignore the physical bit or pretend it doesn't exist.
No toughing it out needed.
Not like that. Instead, they're drawing our attention to how quickly, how readily our minds embellish these basic sensations, creating these extra layers of anguish.
The physical pain is the impact.
But our reaction, our resistance, that whole internal drama around it, that's the second arrow. And often that's the one that truly drags out and deepens our suffering.
Wow. The profound takeaway here is that while physical pain, maybe like waves, will inevitably crash on the body,
Which they do.
your true consciousness, your serene inner moon, as one analogy puts it, remains inherently untouched. Just knowing that offers a powerful path to mental resilience.
Recognizing that second arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does open up a new way to approach discomfort. And this brings us perfectly to another powerful analogy our sources share, one that paints a vivid picture of this resilience, the mind like the moon.
Ah, yes, a beautiful one.
Tell us more about this image and its core message.
It's lovely. Imagine the moon just floating high above. That represents our pure, serene mind, our fundamental consciousness, or vijnana.
Okay, the core awareness.
Exactly. And below it, the sea. That symbolizes the body and the whole world of feelings and sensations that arise within it.
The physical realm.
And the waves crashing on that sea. Those are the physical pains, the Dukkha Vedana.
Right, the first arrow stuff. Exactly. So the core message is this. No matter how fierce or relentless those waves of pain are, no matter how they crash and churn on the body, they cannot actually reach or harm the moon, our true inner mind, which floats high above, untouched, serene.
That's incredibly impactful. So it's saying that even amidst intense physical sensation, our deeper consciousness can remain undisturbed.
That's the potential, yes.
Does this mean like advanced practitioners, people who really follow these teachings, do they genuinely experience pain differently?
According to the sources, yes, absolutely. This analogy perfectly illustrates that potential for deep mental resilience. It mentions figures like arahants, enlightened beings who, despite still perceiving physical pain, because, their bodies are still subject to natural laws,
Still stub their toes.
presumably, but their minds remain tranquil and undisturbed. They are free from that added mental suffering that comes from clinging to the pain, resisting it, building stories around it.
So no second arrow for them.
Essentially, yes. Their minds remain serene because they understand this distinction deeply. They embody that potential for inner peace even when the body is uncomfortable.
That's truly fascinating. It suggests this isn't just philosophy, it's a pathway to a different way of being.
Yeah.
So if we can cultivate this resilience, what are the deeper philosophical underpinnings from the sources that help us get there?
Oh.
I'm thinking about Buddhism's 3 characteristics of existence, the tilakkhana.
Indeed. Understanding these 3 characteristics is, well, crucial for building that mental resilience. They are anicca, dukkha, and anatta.
Right.
And they offer really profound insights into the nature of pain itself. First, anicca, that means impermanence.
Okay, things change.
Exactly. When we experience pain, understanding anicca reminds us this pain is not permanent. It arises, it exists for a time, and it will eventually cease.
That's hopeful.
It is. It's not a fixed state. It's a dynamic process. Just knowing that can lessen our fear and resistance because we know it won't last forever.
Okay, that's anicca. And then there's dukkha, which we talked about as mental suffering earlier. How does it fit here as a characteristic of existence?
That's an important clarification. In the context of tilakkhana, dukkha is used more broadly. It refers to the inherent unsatisfactoriness or suffering found in all conditioned existence.
Ah, so it's bigger than just my mental reaction.
Yes. So when pain arises, it is inherently difficult to endure. It is a state of unsatisfactoriness. It's acknowledging the intrinsic difficulty of the experience itself.
Got it. And the third one, anatta, non-self.
Non-self. This helps us see that pain is a temporary process, not an enduring self or something inherently mine to own or identify with.
It's not me.
It's not fundamentally you. It's just a sensation, a process occurring in the body-mind system, not a core part of who you are.
So understanding these characteristics isn't about denying pain, but really changing our relationship with it. What's the practical application then from the sources for tolerating pain using this understanding?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, yeah, understanding these 3 lets us tolerate pain, but not through gritting our teeth, that kind of brutal endurance.
Not stoicism exactly.
No. It's more about mindfully acknowledging its reality without adding the mental resistance, without the attachment. The practical application is quite clear. We can forgar the pain when it's there.
See it for what it is.
See it for what it is. Avoid creating those elaborate, dramatic narratives around it, or as the sources sometimes suggest, inflating it or pimping it up.
Okay, don't pimp the pain.
Don't pimp the pain, just accept its transient, impersonal nature. The ultimate goal isn't always for the physical pain to vanish instantly.
Though that would be nice.
Wouldn't it? But the goal is freedom from the mental suffering, even if the physical sensations persist. And that's a huge transformative shift in perspective.
That makes so much sense, healing the mind's response to pain. And our sources then get into a more active approach to this mental healing, posing a really intriguing question. Why are there stories, even in the Tipitaka, the ancient Buddhist scriptures, about chanting the Bachanka Sutta actually leading to healing? Is this some kind of miraculous instant cure?
It's vital to clarify this. The sources describe it not as magic, not as a supernatural quick fix, but as a matter of mental power or mental cultivation.
Okay, mental power.
Bojangka refers to the 7 factors of enlightenment. Things like mindfulness, investigation of states, energy, rapture, piti, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity.
So qualities of mind.
Exactly. These aren't just abstract ideas. They are profound mental qualities you can actually cultivate.
So how does chanting or meditating on these principles translate into healing?
Mm.
What's the mechanism the sources describe? Is it just calming down?
It's more than just calming down, though that's part of it. The sources explain that cultivating these principles with deep understanding fosters profound mental calm, yes, but also sharp concentration, and critically, piti, the state of deep rapture or joy.
Joy, even with pain.
Potentially, yes. A specific kind of non-sensual joy. And this state, our sources say, can have a tangible positive effect on the body. It's thought to strengthen the immune system, influence physiological responses for the better.
So it affects the body directly.
It seems so. It's described almost as a form of psychological therapy that enhances rather than replaces physical treatment. It's like a powerful mental support system.
Okay, but doesn't that sound a bit contradictory? If it's about physical healing and it's this mental power, why wouldn't the pain just vanish?
That's a sharp observation, and the sources actually address that potential confusion. Bojangka doesn't necessarily make physical pain disappear instantly.
Okay.
Instead, its primary, most reliable effect is to transform the mind's perspective on that pain. By cultivating these factors, you alleviate the mental suffering, the second arrow, associated with the pain.
Ah, back to the 2 arrows.
Exactly. And by reducing that mental stress and suffering, you create a more favorable internal environment for the body's own natural healing processes to work better.
So it helps the body help itself.
Precisely. It highlights this interplay between relative truth, the reality of the physical pain, and absolute truth, the mind's capacity to transcend the suffering about the pain. It's the healing of the mind, which then gives the body a better chance to recover.
That's a powerful concept.
Yeah.
Heal the mind to allow the body to heal itself. This clearly underlines the deep, inseparable connection between mind and body, a theme our sources hit on again and again.
It's fundamental.
So how does Buddhism, maybe through the 5 aggregates, the khandhas, detail this intricate relationship?
Right. The khandhas, they describe what makes up a being or our moment-to-moment experience. There's rupa, the physical body,
The material part.
and nama, which represents the mental components. And nama itself is broken down into consciousness, vijnana, sensation, vedana, perception, sana, and mental formations, sankhara.
Okay, quite a few bits there.
It is, but the insight is that these aren't separate silos. They're constantly interacting, this complex, dynamic system.
And that's an ecosystem.
Kind of, yeah. And the sources use a fantastic analogy. They describe the mind, nama, as the subtlest part of the body, almost like the owner at a house.
Mind owns the body house.
In this analogy, yes. And it suggests that a well-managed, serene owner, a calm, clear mind, naturally leads to a well-maintained house, a healthier body. It's a compelling image for holistic well-being, isn't it?
It really is. Makes the abstract much more tangible. Do the sources connect this sort of spiritual understanding to any modern scientific insights? Or is it purely philosophical?
No, they definitely make connections. This traditional wisdom finds really fascinating echoes in modern science.
How so?
Well, as the sources point out, positive mental states, tranquility, joy, equanimity, the things cultivated through Bojangka are known to trigger the release of beneficial neurotransmitters and hormones, things that can boost the immune system.
Like endorphins.
Endorphins, maybe serotonin, dopamine, things that reduce inflammation and even influence our pain thresholds. We literally feel less pain sometimes when we're in a good headspace. And conversely, chronic stress, which is fueled by negative mental states, anger, fear, worry, releases cortisol. And we know cortisol can weaken the body's defenses over time and make physical symptoms worse.
So the mind's influence on pain perception and just overall physical health is, well, it's pretty significant scientifically, too.
It really is. It's supported by both ancient wisdom and a growing body of contemporary research.
So it's not just a spiritual belief, it has observable physiological effects. But it's crucial to clarify, and the sources do reaffirm this, mental healing is powerful, but it's not a magical cure-all, is it?
No, absolutely not.
It can't replace needing a doctor for, say, a broken bone.
Precisely. The sources are very clear. Mental healing, while critically important, cannot set a broken bone or, eradicate an aggressive tumor on its own.
Right.
It's presented as a vital component of holistic care, something that works with physical treatments in harmony.
Enhancing them, maybe?
Enhancing them, strengthening the individual from within, allowing them to face illness with more courage, more calm, creating a healthier internal environment, which in turn enhances the body's natural capacity to heal and endure. It's about synergy, not substitution.
That distinction is incredibly important for people to hear. Okay, now, if the mind and body are so deeply intertwined, it leads us to another fascinating area. Our sources touch upon one that looks at subtle energy centers in the body. Let's shift gears slightly and talk about chakras.
Okay, chakras.
What exactly are they, according to the sources, and how do they relate to healing and well-being, especially in this context?
Well, chakras as a concept, they actually originated in ancient Hindu traditions, particularly Vedic and Tantric texts.
Not originally Buddhist, then?
Not Theravada Buddhist, no, which is where much of our earlier discussions, like the Khandas and Tipitaka references, comes from. Chakras were later integrated into Vajrayana or Tibetan Buddhism.
I see.
But they are conceptualized as energy centers, or wheels. That's what chakra means, that channel prana, or life energy.
Life force.
Yes, life force energy within the body's subtle energy system. They're typically visualized aligned along the spine, and each one is associated with different physiological and psychological functions.
And how do these energy centers connect to illness or discomfort, in that view?
In the chakra framework, illness, whether it's physical or mental, is often understood as stemming from blockages or imbalances in these centers.
Like a traffic jam for energy.
That's a good way to put it. If the flow of prana is impeded or stuck, it can lead to various ailments related to the function of that particular chakra. So, healing involves rebalancing this energy flow, opening up congested centers, ensuring that vital energy is distributed harmoniously.
It offers a different but maybe complementary perspective on the roots of discomfort.
It does.
The sources explore this idea of direct healing through energy control. Now, while this is often seen as energy medicine or alternative, do they suggest any overlap with what we've been discussing from the Buddhist perspective?
They do suggest overlaps, yes. While the theoretical language is different, prana versus, say, mental factors, the sources highlight that practices which aim to influence these energy systems, like certain types of meditation or even acupuncture.
Which works with meridians, another energy concept.
Exactly. These practices have observable positive effects: stress reduction, pain relief, things we've already linked to mental states. This suggests a potential intersection where the mind's cultivated states, like the calm and equanimity from Bojjhanga, can naturally influence these subtle energy flows, even if we describe it differently.
That makes perfect sense. So given what we learned about Bojjhanga fostering calm, concentration, PT, could those practices actually be combined with chakra work? Is there an integrated approach discussed?
Absolutely. As an integrated approach, it's definitely possible, and in many traditions that incorporate both, it's encouraged.
How would that work?
Well, the sources explain that the meditative qualities of Bojjhanga, cultivating calm, focus, and especially that state of piti or rapture, can naturally help to open and balance various energy centers.
Like the joy opens the heart chakra.
Exactly. Feelings of loving kindness, compassion, often arising in meditation, are strongly associated with the heart chakra, helping clear blockages there. And maybe even more fundamentally, the core Buddhist principle of letting go of attachment, of non-clinging to suffering.
The second arrow stuff again.
Right. That inherently helps to clear negative energy blockages within the chakra system, allowing prana or energy to flow more freely so they can really complement each other beautifully, fostering both mental and energetic well-being.
Okay, fascinating overlap there. We've talked about the moon-like mind, the two arrows, but let's loop back for just a second, go a bit deeper into where pain truly resides, using the khandhas one last time.
Okay, back to the aggregates.
Does that raw sensation of pain actually reach our pure consciousness, Vijnana? Or is it processed somewhere else first?
Yes, the raw perception of pain, the initial contact, does reach Vijnana. Vijnana is the knower, the fundamental awareness that registers that bodily impact or sensation has occurred.
It knows something happened.
It knows something happened. However, the actual feeling of pain as a distinct sensation, that unpleasant quality, the ouch we talked about, is specifically experienced and processed by Vedana. the aggregate of sensation.
Ah, so Vijnana registers, Vedana feels.
You could put it that way. Vijnana registers the contact, but Vedana experiences the quality. Pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Pain falls squarely into unpleasant Vedana.
That distinction is important. Okay, so if Vijnana is mainly the knower and Vedana is the feeler, what part of us then takes that info and, decides to act? Decides to reach for that glass of water when thirsty, or maybe pull away from the source of pain?
Right, good question. That's where sankhara, the aggregate of mental formations, comes into play. Decision-making, volition, intention that's not solely Vijnana or Vedana.
So Sankara is the doer.
It's the cooker-up of intentions, you might say. Vijnana perceives, sana perception identifies, that's pain, or a thirst, but it's sankhara that generates the intention, the will, the thought, I need to move, or I need water.
It directs the action.
It directs rupa, the physical body, to act. So sankhara is the decider, the source of our volitional actions, often driven by our underlying tendencies, desires, needs, or even our cultivated intentions like compassion or wisdom.
Okay, that clarifies the roles. So what does this intricate process mean for an enlightened being, like the Arahant we discussed earlier, given they still have all these khandhas functioning?
It profoundly reaffirms our moon analogy, actually. Arahants still experience physical pain. The first arrow still lands.
Because Rupa and Vedana still work.
Exactly. Their bodies are subject to the same laws. All the khandhas function. However, their minds do not suffer the second arrow. Why? Because their sankharas, their mental formations, do not create attachment, resistance, aversion, or those elaborate narratives around the pain.
Their cooker-upper isn't cooking up suffering.
Precisely. Their Vedana registers the unpleasant sensation, but their sankharas don't latch onto it and turn it into mental anguish. Their minds remain serene, untouched by the mental turmoil that usually accompanies our resistance to pain.
It's a testament to that profound mental training and insight.
It really is. It shows the potential to liberate the mind, even while the body still endures physical reality.
Wow. We've covered such vast ground today, haven't we? From the piercing clarity of those two arrows of suffering
Yeah, so fundamental.
to the serene image of the mind as a moon, and from looking at the impermanent nature of pain through tilakkhana to the energetic flow of chakras.
It's a lot to weave together.
It is, but it seems clear that understanding pain isn't about denying it exists, but about really profoundly transforming our relationship with it, whether that's through deep mindfulness or energetic balancing or maybe a powerful combination.
Indeed. What our sources consistently reveal, I think, is that both ancient Buddhist philosophy and even these alternative energy sciences, at their core, they point to the incredible interconnected power of our mind and body.
Yeah.
And understanding this connection deeply isn't just theoretical. It feels key for cultivating genuine well-being and building real resilience in the face of, well, life's inevitable challenges. So true. Okay, here's a thought for you, our listener, to mull over after this deep dive today.
Something to take away.
Reflecting on our conversation about the mind's powerful role in creating that second arrow of suffering. What single thought pattern or maybe mental habit could you begin to just observe in your own life this week? Just notice it. See how it might be adding that second layer and maybe begin to loosen its grip.
Just consider how even a small shift in observing that pattern, that perspective, could open up new pathways to inner peace, allowing you to face whatever comes your way with perhaps a little more calm and a little more clarity,